And I'm back, and what I'm doing here today is I'm getting ready to lay this hardwood floor. Now, got a story about this floor. There's a guy had it advertised, it's new flooring, but he had odds and sods and different stacks of different kinds of flooring. And so I went up to look at it one day, and he had a number of like factory bundles. You know, they were all facing each other, and the backs were showing. So he had half a dozen bundles, presumably all the same. So I said, yeah, okay, I'm going to buy that. Then he had all these remnants and scraps and pieces all through this crawl space in his house. He had a heated crawl space under the house, and his son-in-law apparently had been a flooring guy, and over the years he put all these, you know, odds and ends and scraps in there. So anyway, what I did was I looked around and I said, okay, you know, there's a little bit extra here. What do you want for all of it? I'll clean you out. And he said, okay, you know, he named his price, and so I grabbed it. And but what I thought I had was, when I bought those 5 or 6 bundles that were wrapped together, I thought they were going to be all the same. But when I opened them, and it was a couple of years later before I opened them, because I wasn't ready for them, I come to find out that they're all different. And they weren't meant to be all different. As you can see in this floor here, you can see this kind of a cherry color in here, right? And then there's a lighter color. It's almost like a maple color, right? And there's an even darker color here, like a dark cherry, right? So I didn't have enough of one color to do all the floors I wanted to do. So what I decided to do was just random it. And I think it's going to work. But there was another factor, and this, you know, threw me for a little while, is that they're not all the same width, okay? They're all the same thickness, luckily, but they're not all the same width. So what I did, how I got around that was, I measured all the widths. I marked the back of every piece of flooring with its width. And you can see here, this one here it's 5 3/8 wide. Okay, from the edge to the edge here. So basically what I did was I separated all the flooring by width. So everything that's on this floor here right now is 5 3/8 of an inch wide. Okay? And I'm going to lay it out. You know, this isn't the final pattern, and I'll explain to you why. Because I laid it out upside down. I laid it all like this here. I laid it upside down because we have a problem in this area with 2 kinds of insects. One is termites, and the other is powder post beetle. And what they'll do is they'll get into raw wood, and you may not notice it for a few years, but they'll eat, you know, the inside of the wood. So I had them all turned face down, and I treated them with a water spray containing a product called Timbor, which is pretty much it's a borax. It's a borax product, and you can get it. It's actually a place called Seed Ranch in Florida where I bought it. I bought a 5-gallon pail of it from them. Seed Ranch. I don't know, it's seedranch.com, but you can look it up. And they sell this Timbor. It was $200 for a 5-gallon pail of this powder. You mix it with water in one of those pump sprayers, and you apply it to raw wood. And what it does is it dries in there, and it leaves a coating that if these insects eat it, they're prevented from digesting it somehow, and it kills them. So I had all of this flooring turned face down initially, and I sprayed it with Timbor. I had them soaking a couple days ago, and now they're all dry. So what I'm doing now is I've started flipping them over. Now these ones in here, you can't really tell that much, but these ones are only 5 and I think just 5 1/4 wide. So there's an 1/8 of an inch in difference in the widths from these ones to the ones that I put out here in the living room, in the dining room. And I mean, that won't make much of a difference, but if you go to lay ones that are 5 3/8 next to ones that are 5 1/4, say, they're not gonna butt up together. They're not gonna butt up like this. This is a narrow one, and that's a wide one. You're gonna have a gap, right, where they meet here. So you have to put them down together. So these are 5 3/8, fine. I can find my pattern here that I want to put down, and it's gonna be a random pattern with all these different colors mixed in. I think it's gonna look fine. And then where I don't have enough, I'll fill with 5 1/4 or 5 1/8. There's some of this is 5 1/8, which is a fully 1/4 of an inch off of this width. So yeah, I've got some of that here. And it's not all treated yet because I didn't have enough floor area to just lay it all out face down to treat it. But see, this stuff here is 5 1/8. It's all pretty much the same stuff, but different widths. all that stack is 5 1/8. That's 5 1/16. And I got some more in here. This stuff in here is 5 5/16. So it's only a 16th off of the stuff out there. I mean, it doesn't seem like much, but it's enough if you want your gaps tight. So that stuff is my extra, so I have enough. Right here by the front door, I'm going to put tile. So it's not going to be all covered in wood here. There's going to be a section here with beyond it with tile. So I think I'm going to have enough. But yeah, it's be careful what you buy in bundles. You may never get what you think you're getting. Because I thought I was getting. I looked at a couple of them. You know, I thought it was all going to be kind of like this one here, this cherry color. But no, it's everything. But I think that's going to look okay. We'll see. All right, so I'm just going to finish flipping these ones over. Now the orientation I'm going to use in here is this way here. It's going to be a long way down the room. I thought about that too. You know, sometimes you can put it this way or that way. And sometimes they say that putting flooring this way in the room makes the room seem a little wider, but almost everything you see, even like a hallway, if they say make a hallway, you know, it's usually best to keep it straight down through. So I am going to go this way. I'm going to go this orientation with this flooring. And what that means, you know, contradicted myself right there. It's this little bit of hallway is actually going to have the same layout. It's going to carry on this way. This way, it's just a short hallway. And then this master bedroom, you know, I think we'll have enough. It's going to be this way in here, like that, this orientation this way. So I think I've got enough if I use the widths in the right order. But that's the story on that. And like I say, there's some of them here, just like I say, I laid it out just to treat them. So I can see it's pretty dark over here. So I'm going to mix these up with some light ones. And it's pretty light there. And I'm going to mix that up with some darker or some cherry. And we'll get this started, and I'll keep you posted as we go. Wish me luck.